Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, 2015 NFL MVP Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers face off against Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Carolina Panthers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001, and that's the veteran Drew Brees.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right. He's got it in, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. And now running right through it. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. On second down, here's Brees. It's brought in right side by Ginn. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. This is brought in at the 21. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. Newton to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. A good pick up there, 26 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now it's Newton. Got some real estate inside the 30. And down to the 29-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Newton takes it himself, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
Okay, I'll admit it. I'm a little surprised by that call. 2nd and inches. It did what it was intended, but it felt like it was a free play waiting to happen. I thought they might take a shot.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And here now the offense for Carolina.
By now you know I love running backs, and C.J. Anderson caught my eye in a big way in 2017. His first 1,000-yard season on the ground, a little bit over 1,000 yards in 1,007, but over 1,200 yards from scrimmage, so you know you can catch it out of the backfield as well. An exciting runner, a powerful runner, and a guy who can be physical when necessary.
3rd and long, it's Newton. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch it out of the backfield as well. Ball
on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Ready?
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now. And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing. To throw, it's Breeze. Over the middle, it's Thomas. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling is a lost start in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And this certainly confirms all the chatter, how big of a final weekend this is for the moment. The 6th seed is theirs, but it'll take a victory to officially lock that down.
I hear the excitement in your voice about this.
Or nervousness, both ways.
Either way, but you know, I've never met a player who didn't go into a game with a little bit of nervousness and played well and didn't play well. Because look, if you go in without that edge, and to this game has an edge to it, doesn't it? Then you're really not going to perform that well.
Flush to his right, and some room to roam now. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Newton on 1st down. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Oh, then the spin. Finding some room at midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. On the move to his left. And this is complete to Moore on the comebacker. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now Newton. Incomplete. There defensively to break that one up, Ken Crawley. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
And the Saints got everything they want out of Marshawn Lattimore and more his rookie season. Yes, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Here's the best part. Didn't give up a single touchdown pass all season and made it very difficult for people to complete a pass in his area.
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Ready, yellow lady.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. On the tackle, it's Captain Munnerlyn.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Breeze now. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And what they're challenging here is the spot of the ball, and this is probably the hardest challenge to win.
So difficult because the speed of the game, the angles of the cameras, your angle from the sideline watching the play can often fool you into thinking that the ball should be placed in a different spot.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Everyone's ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady.
From the gun, it's Breeze. The open man is Smith. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
And there is absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now the pitch comes to Ingram. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. At the end of one, 6-0 is our score. We'll head back to New Orleans after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
Break it down, fellas. Break it down. Ready. You waiting?
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still second down.
They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8.
Ready.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Ready. United.
From midfield, here's Breeze. And that is incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. Flushed out right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Throwing on third down, Newton. He may try and run for it. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On second down, here's Newton. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Throwing on third and long. Newton got his target, Samuel. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now a first down throw for Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. To throw on second down is Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Come on now. Take a step. Come on, come on, come on. Do some. 20.
The shotgun snap for Newton. He's going to go for a big play down. This is caught inside the 15.
Just like that.
They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down.
always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Newton. A dump off to Anderson. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 10 more there and another 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. And Newton's going to keep it. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Cam Newton scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And Cam able to take it himself in for the score. Gano out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. And Josh Hill has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Ready. You waiting?
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Ready. Y'all waiting?
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Ted Ginn scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And the Saints are back within a score. And that that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Luck's good on the extra point, and it's now 13-7. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. As we find ourselves in Week 17, he's already well over the 1,000-yard mark. So there's no pressure there. We'll just see where this final tally ends.
And I love what you just talked about there. There's no pressure. There's pride, right? So the higher he can take that number and rank with his peers, everyone wants to be number 1. He wants to post that number like a good golfer, right? Post the best score and go to the clubhouse and kick back and see if anyone can match it.
Well, and he's the go-to guy here out wide. We'll see what they can do with him in this game. Defensively, they have a big challenge on their hands. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And it's the Cowboys that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On first down, it's Newton. Flush to his right. Room here to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Come on now.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to know that you may be called on to make a tackle at any time. Here, the cornerback does exactly that. Plays the run.
And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. As his guys are in for 6, and the Panthers add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Gano now to add the extra point. Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. "15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Thomas Davis. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll begin with 2 teams who don't really like each other all that much as Oakland heads out to take on Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in the 2nd quarter. The Chiefs trying to hold on and claim victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. In our game, it was Cam Newton who led the way in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, they're in the 2nd quarter at Lambeau. Early lead in that one for the Packers. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's Newton, dancing to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Throwing is Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you don't make a play on football.
And he's got his target. That's more. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Now Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Newton. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll go down at the 28. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. C.J. Anderson of the game. He gets it here. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They run again on 1st down. Anderson. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd down, Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Newton takes it himself. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
And while it's highly unusual for NFL teams to think about using their quarterback on key 3rd down runs, none of those teams, save one, has Cam Newton. He's unique, one of the biggest quarterbacks you'll ever see. Give him the ball. Let him pick it up.
They get it to him running left. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will swell the lead to 16. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Hold that to a minimum game.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
You're good, you're good. 5-4, ready. Ready. Ready.
On the counter, Ingram dances by him, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Ready. We're waiting.
Breeze now on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Ready. Yellow waiting, yellow waiting. Right side.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Ready. You're 90. 20 seconds.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to Meredith. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Ready?
Breeze hands to Ingram. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready? You waiting?
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Breeze to another longtime vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and you're really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Ready? You waiting?
Breeze gives it up to Ingram. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Ready? You waiting?
One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That's caught, it's Thomas. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They come out here in the eye. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people, to power his way forward.
They'll try and run with Ingram, but he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way now. It's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a 1-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Newton on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
On second down, here's Newton. He's going to fire one deep over, and this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for the Panthers. 41 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw on second down is Newton. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brees. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Ready. Waiting.
Shotgun now for Brees. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Brees now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady.
From the gun, it's Brees. On target over the middle of the hill. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet. Not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Brees now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Now Brees again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing on first down is Brees. Over the middle. caught by Meredith. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. He got 29 yards that time. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Breeze. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Saints have cut it back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
Forced out to his left. And he's got room. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. And Newton's going to keep it. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
Well, I liked it. Just take the snap, burrow forward, pick up the few inches you need for a first down.
And defensively, I don't think they were expecting that. They looked a little surprised in the middle.
Yeah, a little bit wary there, weren't they? Because that can be a throwaway down where maybe you go play action, fake it, and try and get something big. But instead, he said, forget it. Let's just get a first down and start a new set.
After the run, Newton going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. All incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, it's Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Holding Offense.
So that one a hold
Still
for
first
right
down.
guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
20.
Throwing again is Newton. Being chased out left. And oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties.
Automatic first down.
We know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. McCaffrey following the penalty. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
This will be caught at about the 6. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They get it to him running left. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
0-2, 0-2. Ready. United.
To throw is Breeze. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Now Breeze. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Ready. Ready.
Breeze to throw. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Back to throw, Breeze. Open man is Hill, he's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
And no reason for that from any wide receiver.
Oftentimes, you don't even hear the snap count, right? You just look inside, make sure the ball moves, then you take off. How he didn't do that is beyond me.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Ready. Ready.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. He dumps it down to Ingram. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Breeze to throw again. And Hill with it over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. And now he clocks it with 19 seconds remaining. And that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. And they'll indeed take a knee. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Panthers, a win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better-than-average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they dropped their 7th game on the year. And it will be a disappointing finish to the regular season, no doubt. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.